I was saying was that TM and Delta are very, very good.
Yep.
They're one of the few teams in EU that actually can say they got a gold medal, which is pretty darn difficult to do when you've had the teams of Acno and Blaze and Godly and Fozy.
There was one team that could say they got a gold medal for like 2.5 years, and that was Acno and Blaze.
Oh, and like Simple and Blue for like.
Yeah,
did they?
a little bit before.
I think
that.
they maybe got like one.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to get through them, but there's always those top 3 contenders. Anyways, going into this, I can't believe my eyes. Is Delta back on the Bodvar? Is this what's happening? Okay, we've got Rayman Jala versus Bodvar Olgrim. All right, so this is like. I can't believe that I'm saying it's refreshing to see Bodvar.
It's vintage now.
Oh, Bodvar Olgrim, that's very refreshing.
It's vintage now. It fell out of style for long enough that now it's come back, and all of a sudden you're finding this when you're thrifting
I can't
at
believe
a goodwill.
I miss Rayman. My goodness.
We saw some Rayman last night, so maybe he's still going to be alive and well in the current meta.
I think as long as you have gauntlets,
yes.
At least until there's very concrete evidence that gauntlets aren't like. We don't know for sure. I just have a feeling that gauntlets aren't as good as people are saying that they are in doubles anymore. And we'll see if that's the case, because if we just get results where gauntlets are winning everything, then they're just winning everything. But I want to see, because I think a lot of players are still convinced that it's like you basically have to have your gauntlets player, one of them, in doubles, or you might as well be trolling. That's like the opinion of certain people. But we've got a team like Delta and TM right now who are doing the classic, like 2 heavy-hitting weapons, right? Like that was doubles for years. Hammer and axe, like that's how you finish off the attacks. Oh, what's our weakness? We can't combo. Well, we have each other, and that's how you solve the problem. And then you end up taking stocks in 3 to 4 hits.
Great follow-ups here coming out between Delta and TM. Scyotic still stuck without a weapon on a low defense legend.
He started a combo with Delta, and as Delta went for the neutralite, TM just switched right back over, finished off the stock of another opponent, and then went back to comboing the first player that he was hitting.
That is that 2v2 team synergy. That's that chemistry that comes from a team that has played together for a while. Sometimes they play with other partners, but they always seem to land right back here. They're not too far ahead at this point. They're coming in white on those stocks as Seijaru and Scyotic are getting into the orange. Scyotic's got to be careful. He's the most damaged in this game. He just took a D-Light side air from Delta's sword.
Yeah, Seijaru's doing a really great job bringing this back with the gauntlets. He's got to be careful, though. I think, they just got knocked off his hands from that Lance recovery. Downlight burn, just barely dodged out of the way. An amazing dodge of the gravity cancel downlight. That could be the edge guard on a TM. He just barely avoids getting caught by the gauntlet in air. And that recovery on Delta could take him down, and blue team could make a huge comeback, but the Sair takes Scyotic down, and now Seijaru has to avoid the team combo coming out from Delta and TM. Will Delta go off stage to save TM? Oh, the Nair comes through. Can Delta make it back? He can.
That's giving Seijaru some space there. You didn't see the red team immediately put pressure onto Seijaru on the wall. They're worried about that gauntlet in air. That's what grabbed Delta before. Isn't able to get over to the wall, and they're barely going to take that game. Big damage coming out from TM on this one. He's using the dex stance on Olgrim, and he put out 676 damage.
Yeah, that was fantastic coming out from TM. Lance being used for a lot of the damage buildup in team combos, and then we see the Sair there catching the landings, just getting those hard hits so that they can't make it back. Still, though, very close game coming out from TM and Delta after what was looking like a pretty dominant start there. And I like that you called out that deck stance on Olgrim. We used to watch so much Olgrim in EU that it was just like, what do we talk about? Well,
nobody has a consistent take.
There's not. There's base stance Olgrim, there's 2 decks Olgrim, and then there's 4 decks Olgrim. Yeah. Because there are people that actually, and it's true, it can just feel better to have more dexterity sometimes. Even if it's not like creating any new true combos, you might just like how it feels to be able to side air off of 4 decks instead of 2.
We've seen 2 Olgrims today. Last set, it was a default stance Olgrim. Yeah. This one, it is a dexterity stance Olgrim. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 2 decks Olgrim today.
Oh yeah, and there's no consistency. I think Machete is like one of the 2 decks Olgrim players, if I remember correctly. Like it's just so fascinating to me, the preferences that certain players have. That team combo on Seijaru, fantastic. Delta stopped TM from taking any more damage, but Scyotic doing the same. Both players really doing like a tit for tat there on the trades for the damage that they're doing. It's like, okay, you hit my teammate, I hit you for hitting my teammate, and so on and so forth. But that Nair was a great adaptation, and the recovery to catch the landing means it's 6 stocks to 4 here. here in game 2.
Now, even though Scyotic was the first one to be taken out of last game before anybody else, Scyotic also put out a solid amount of damage. Coming in with the defense stance here, put out 500 damage. So that's a solid number. That's the second highest in the game. That's more than his teammate, and that is more than Delta were able to put out. So it's not like he was just in the game, all of a sudden he was gone and didn't do much while he was here.
Ooh, all right, Scyotic covering these landings with nairs. TM hits a little bit of his teammate there, but Scyotic goes down, and that's so quickly. Oh, he's charging that.
He was charging
That's so
it.
sick. TM uses the one move that's never going to knock out his opponent to be like, oh, you committed to this option, and it's not going to work, and you'll lose your stock if you do it. I'll just stop you from it. And he actually does save Delta from going down as a result, and tricked his opponent that they were edge guarding as well.
That really was the perfect choice because it also doesn't have a lot of force on it, so it's not going to move your teammate away from you where the other opponent can then maybe capitalize on that. If he went for like Neutralite, that's going to send far over on the edge.
That would just knock out on Lance. Wouldn't on Gauntlets anymore, but it would on Lance. Recovery hits, Seijaru just flying. Nice job dodging through that recovery that Delta was using to punish the dare. TM trying to cover a dash jump or a dodge up with that ground pound, and it doesn't work out. Delta not being edge guarded, and that down sig narrowly avoided and punished.
That was a great. I can't believe he was able to punish that. That was like the max range of that side air. What a punish coming out from Delta to not get hit by the sig and somehow find his way up, over, and around that corner.
That's like super difficult to do. You messed
His
that up.
timing must
You
have been
messed that up.
amazing.
You get hit by the third glove, you're done. And then, oh, the down air
Bro,
from TM. Seijaru might just be done here. Oh, no.
TM's the one who's done. Maybe got a little bit lost in the sauce there.
That seems to be happening with our EU friends here in this tournament so far. There's like a really controlled, dominant victory into like, we're winning too hard, guys. Oh, there we go, Seijaru. 3 stocks to 1. And that gravity cancel down tick will be the game. Going over to TM and Delta 2-0 lead in this best of 5. One more game. And they'll be moving on to fight Cider and Cresu, who are waiting in winners' quarters.
Now, we're watching the replays now. We're going to get into the graphs right after this because I want to look at Delta's graph.
Boom.
Beautiful. To take that game. That was 3 stocks to their name, but now we're going to get that graph up in front of you. I want you to look at the second from the top and look how long Delta spent on that first stock. Didn't end up going down to last stock. That's probably about 60% of the game on first stock. Then look at what Scyotic did. Both stocks were already gone by the time the game was half over.
Yeah, that defense stance really pulling through. You could see the moment in TM's graph. Oh, well, it's gone now. But
well, now you can't.
When TM went down on that first stock, that's where he saved Delta with the sidelight.
Yep.
And Delta actually extended that much further. But yeah, the damage coming out there from the red team is just crazy. They're doing phenomenal. We're going to Miami Dome for game number 3. Let's see what Seijaru and Scyotic are able to do here. So a huge change up in the team composition here. We've got Val and Hattori. This is like a North America meta from 2019.
Yeah, it's just the vintage team comps really coming out here.
And that's exciting. It's very interesting to see. I love just watching Delta play Bodvar. Look, I can't. I am such, dude.
I love watching Bodvar.
Okay.
It's such a fun character to watch.
It is.
When people play Hammer really well, it can be so much fun to watch.
You're just flying around the screen and you're just carrying him with you. It's a grapple hammer.
And I'm a Hammer hater.
Yeah.
If there is one hater out there for Hammer, it's me. I do not like playing against it whatsoever because I fall victim to all the traps that it has every single time. But man, as a commentator, I love it as the blue team gets fully wiped.
TM and Delta are so good. TM was covering one side of the push-up column with the ground pound on the axe, not releasing it, and then Delta slips right past him while he's charging the axe ground pound, gets the knockout, and then comes back before he releases it. That's a kind of edge pressure that I haven't even seen before.
It feels like it was choreographed that way.
It's just really brilliant when you think about it. Okay, TM goes down, Delta tries to get back to the stage, and Scyotic does get that fadeaway side air. Could be an edge guard here. They could switch over to TM, but TM's winning that 1v1 against Seijaru, and Scyotic's got to be ready for that. Okay, there's the recovery. Nice job. Scyotic on a spear has actually been keeping things pretty nicely and even.
They were doing a good job keeping TM away from the weapon spawn that was on the right side, so they were able to put out damage while he was without a weapon. But Delta's sword coming in, zoning away Scyotic from Seijaru.
Ooh, edge guard opportunity. Nice recovery. Delta's been catching a lot of these landings with his recoveries, but Seijaru there with the gauntlets. was doing
D6,
work.
there it is, baby. You know it's coming. Love to see that one.
Yeah. Bodvar down Seiga, notorious for being able to cover the side of the ledge there without going off yourself. What a spot dodge. My goodness.
Yeah, there's been a few of those coming from the blue team on that
Yeah.
D-Sig from TM, and that is not easy to do.
Oh, I thought he was going to turn right around and hit TM there. That would have been huge. Recovery from Seijaru. That's great. Gets that knockout. Could go down on that side, but he makes it back, and Scyotic covers his recovery back to the stage, dodges through the hammer down air from Delta, and blue team's got themselves quite a good game, potentially bringing this to a game 4 if they can keep this up, because if Delta goes down here, that's a lead for them, although it's a really small one. Scyotic is taking more of a beating than I realized after that.
Wow. He took the beating and then is taken out of the game, and that is an official double KO coming out from Delta.
Is that unarmed recovery that knocked him out?
huge.
Off of sidelight and air? Oh. Oh my god.
The pickup!
Oh no, he misses the stop. Sair in the air. Recovery comes through. Seijaru doing his best to get any hits that he can out of these combos, but it's tough when you're against Delta Team. Look at that, they're hunting him down. They're stacked side-stick hits. They're both going off stage.
Oh, just throws that one out. It seemed like TM was over there just flying around going like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. And then all of a sudden, boom.
They're amazing at that. Yeah.
But Zynga, here comes the hammer side sig coming out from Delta.
And
what
talk,
a team.
And talk about literally dividing. Let's see that stomps there. Yeah, it took a little bit too much time there. Talk about literally dividing attention here, right? You have some nonsense happening on the left side of you and on the right side of you. That is the literal act of dividing your attention between two opponents, right? If they were both on the same stage, you're watching the same area over there, you can be ready for those threats. But in the situations that TM and Delta create for their opponents, it's so difficult to recover and survive against them, and we see why. As they go up 3-0 against Seijaru and Scyotic, and like you said, really impressive performance from Seijaru and Scyotic to have that 9th place finish at Worlds, but they go down to the elimination bracket pretty early on to a very, very good team.
Did Duke put TM and Delta in 3rd?
I don't remember.
I think he did, because we did talk about them, and I didn't put them in my top 3.
Yeah, he did. He got it. Yeah.
Darn.
Look at you.
There's
What do
still
you
hope
mean
for
darn?
Ted and Neve.
What do you mean, darn?
Well, I don't want him to succeed.
There's some time.
I don't want my friends to succeed. I only want me to succeed.
That's fair.
Kaz, how long have you known me?
Long enough.